let's talk about the new Showdown sprites for a second, why don't we? 3D, pretty much looking like they came from X and Y. I just want to say good job to whomever ripped out the sprites. And Zero for programming them in. I think Zero did that. And these pretty much came to as a surprise for me. I was on vacation when this happened down in California and whatnot, and when I get back I see all this and I'm like, wow, they really did some upgrading while I was away. So yeah, but anyways, got a matchup here against qSeasons, who is pretty much voiced on Showdown, I want to say. Yeah, I think he's voiced, but qSeasons is actually one of the best battlers on there, in my opinion. And I really do mean this, because I have faced quite a bit of good battlers, and qSeasons is one of them that has had my number every time we have faced off. He's outplayed me, he's beaten me, and I haven't really beaten him. So anyways, looking at teams, that Mega Pincer on his side of the field is a big threat. The aerial quick attacks, close combats, scissors, blah blah blah, etc, etc, can pretty much pile drive through my team if I am not careful. Run and Wash and Talonflame are the two most important members on this team to deal with it, so keep them alive and I should be okay. So hope you guys enjoy the battle and let's get this show on the road. So starting off, I'm going to be leading off with my Rotom Wash, and he chooses to lead off with Manaphy. And I'm thinking here, I should get off a Volt Switch without much problem, but Energy Ball does a clean 52%, and I'm not liking this matchup for the future. But Venusaur versus Manaphy, liking that one a whole lot better. But here I'm going to be going for the Sludge Bomb over the Giga Drain, knowing that Manaphy is not going to be staying in on the Mega Venusaur. And that does a pretty decent chunk, but that's a crit, which doesn't matter at all because Manabuzz has access to Roost and whatnot. And here, I pretty much know that he's going to go into his Aegislash/Sponge's Sludge Bomb. So what I'm going to be doing is just predicting his switch and going for the Earthquake, which is a little bit of a shocker on both ends because he's the one that normally predicts me and whatnot. But now he's going to be sending out his Cure Black, and I kind of hacks this thing quite a bit in this game. First is the crit, Earthquake, and then I get some Poison Axe from the Sludge Bomb, but not before he gets off a heck of a lot with the Ice Beam, but they are kind of derped on the terrible and whatnot, so yeah, Venusaur not looking to be in the best of shape for Manaphy in the future, but it'll make some good death fodder and whatnot. But after sponging the Ice Beam, I'm going to go on, or Tyranitar's going to go for the Pursuit and get that threat out of here. So now he's going to be sending out his Hippowdon, and I feel like Rotom's okay to switch in here, as he sets up his Stealth Rocks. I go for a Will-O-Wisp. Could have gone for a Volt Switch, but hindsight 2020. Turns out that I miss, which is kind of unfortunate, but doesn't really matter that much. And there I switch my Venusaur to try to combat the Manaphy, but he makes a double switch into his Aegislash, which I kind of sort of benefit from actually, as I'm able to Death Fodder off my Mega Venusaur. I'm able to go into Mandibuzz, and I'm knowing that Mandibuzz is a pretty heavy threat to Aegislash, I can just defog off with not much of a problem, as he brings in his Hippowdon, and there I go for the Taunt, trying to predict him to want to set up some rocks, but he winds up going for the Toxic, and then I get off a decent bit of damage with Foul Play on the Manaphy, and then go into my Tyranitar to sponge another Ice Beam. And here I make a wee bit of mistake, and trying to anticipate a switch, wanting to save Manaphy for later. So I go for the Pursuit as he just goes for the Surf, and I just ran out of my Sandstorm. Crunch would have taken it out easily, and now I have to send my Rotom Wash to take some unnecessary damage, which all could have been averted if I would have gone for the Crunch. And Tyranitar also takes a bit of unnecessary damage here from a couple of Surfs before I wind up crunching it, and Manaphy is finally out of the picture. And now here's the big threat to his team, Mega Pinsir. I'm just going to be leaving in my Tyranitar as death fodder, so I can safely bring in Talonflame and just try and brave burn that thing to an oblivion. But he winds up sending in his Powdon, and yeah, it doesn't take that brave bird very well at all. So what I'm going to try to do is just stay in and just try to leave some dents for Mamoswine to try and clean up, because looking at his team right now, it does not appreciate trying to combat Mamoswine. But yeah, he sends in his Aegis dies to 2 Brave Birds. Then after he sends in his Mandibuzz, he double switches into his Mega Pinsir. That thing's out of the way, and he pretty much sees here that Rotom Wash or Mamoswine can kind of sort of steamroll. The former being at 14 HP, but I have the Chesto Berry, and the latter pretty much having an Icicle Crash to deal with them super effectively. So he forfeits, and that is the 4-2 in my favor. Probably could have gone down to 3 or 2-0 depending on the situation, but what can you do really? But anyways, that was a fun game, qSeasons. Rate, comment, sub, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.